Coming up on Mountain News this morning, after spending more than 70 years away, a Commonwealth World War II veteran finally made it home. And some doctors are warning parents to be cautious of eating disorders for children at big events like Thanksgiving.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 a.m. on November 20th. Now let's check in with meteorologist Cameron Aaron for a look at your forecast this morning. And Cameron, once again, it's just a chilly start to the morning. People don't want to forget their coats whenever they're leaving outside, leaving to go to work or school, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know if they may need a raincoat. I know that it's supposed to start raining later today, but
Yeah, maybe a stray shower for the first half of your Monday. Most of us, though, are dry but cooler this morning, but we are tracking an uptick in those rain chances by tonight, also into your Tuesday. But again, this morning we are dry and cold. Those temperatures in the upper 20s and 30s and lower 40s, so kind of all over the board, up to 46 in Somerset, 42 for London, and 33 over in Manchester at this hour. And up on the radar, once again, for most of us, we are dry but cloudy, maybe a few spotty sprinkles in Monticello near Wayne County. But again, for most of us, we are dry at this hour. But as we zoom out, we are tracking this upper level low over Oklahoma, also Kansas. That will be our next rainmaker as we go into tonight, also on Tuesday. So some beneficial rain chances are on the way as we go into tonight, also on Tuesday. And again, we are tracking some gusty winds on Monday night, also into your Tuesday as well. Temperatures on Monday top out in the middle 60s, but some much cooler weather is on the way for Thanksgiving, also for Black Friday. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Cameron, thank you. After 72 years, a World War II veteran has finally made it home. U.S. Army Private First Class Henry C. Wade died in Germany at the age of 24 during the war, but his body was only accounted for in May of this year. The family of Wade made sure to never give up on getting his body home to the States, even through the generations. Wade's nephew made the effort to get his body home.
My mother, Henry's sister, asked me to see what I could find out, what the Army knew about Henry. And I just started making inquiries and sort of feeding the fire, I guess you'd say.
Private First Class Wade will be buried in Russell Springs on November 29th. There's been a recent spike in RSV cases reported, but compared to last year, there haven't been as many hospitalizations throughout Kentucky. It's becoming a concern for state physicians. Presley Allen talked to one of these Kentucky physicians and has more on symptoms to look out for and preventative measures to keep in mind.
Like 1 week back, we just saw like 2 cases in the clinic, and in last 1 week there is an explosion of the number of cases. We have been seeing like more than 10 cases.
RSV is a viral infection that is more common during the fall and winter and is often confused with the flu or common cold.
It is like runny nose, fever, headaches, myalgia or body aches.
It is an infection that affects all age groups, but according to Dr. Suman Shaker, it is severe in babies 6 months and younger, as well as in the elderly population. Currently, there is no definitive treatment for RSV, but there are ways to tame symptoms.
We do give a monoclonal antibody for babies less than 6 months of age, but otherwise there is no treatment. The treatment is supportive in nature. If you hear wheezes, please bring them to the primary care doctors. They can help with breathing treatments and some steroids to help the lung inflammation.
There is, however, a vaccine recently created in July of 2023 for those in the elderly population affected by RSV.
We have a new vaccine which can be given for 60 years and older. To prevent RSV infections and to prevent the severity of infections.
Measures can be taken to prevent the spread altogether.
We need to make sure kids or adults who are infected with RSV need to be at home and wash their hands frequently and not touch their eyes and nose, and also disinfect the surfaces like tables and doorknobs, because RSV virus lives on these surfaces for 10 days.
According to data from the CDC released Friday, Kentucky is seeing the highest number of RSV cases per 2-week totals since last December. With food-filled holidays like Thanksgiving on the way, doctors are also warning parents about the negative impacts this could have on their child's eating disorders. Norton's Children's Hospital says in recent years they have seen more and more kids and teens be hospitalized for eating disorders. Doctors warn that simple comments can have a complicated impact on a young person struggling with their body image. Healthcare professionals' best advice is to not comment on kids and teens' bodies or the food on their plate.
Things like disordered eating, for example, happen more often in teens than most people realize, and can take lots of shapes and forms. And so if we don't always know if that's going on with someone, it's best to think about the other positive things that they're doing in their lives and connecting with them in a different way.
Norton's Children's Hospital professionals recommend that if you believe your child is struggling with an eating disorder, you should reach out to their pediatrician for help. Saturday, Passport by Molina Healthcare partnered with the Nest in Lexington to host a community-wide baby shower for Lexington's Hispanic community. Alexa Minton stopped by the fun to learn more.
Families gathered today at Passport by Molina Healthcare in Lexington for a baby shower for expectant parents in Lexington's Hispanic community.
We have definitely been working on our maternal care for women and special populations, and so we are bringing this to them because we want to let the Hispanic community know that we are here to serve them.
The Nest, a nonprofit organization for women, children, and families, partnered with Molina Healthcare for the shower, helping provide things like gifts, games, and infant necessities for those in attendance. In addition to the fun and games, healthcare information was provided through community vendors. They offered information about health services for those in need. According to the 2021 Kentucky Minority Health Status Report, 11% of Hispanic women in Lexington received delayed or no prenatal care. And of those that did receive prenatal care, 24.3% was deemed inadequate.
We know Black and brown communities often do not receive health care, and so it is to break barriers. So language barriers, barrier of just being afraid to go to the doctor, not having the resources, the money to get those resources, and so if we can eliminate them, we're happy to do so.
While the event today was invite only, those seeking aid in finding the proper health care plan and path for their family are encouraged to reach out to both Passport and the Nest for guidance in their time of need.
And we are trying to do everything we can to make sure that our members get the health care that they deserve. And if eliminating the barriers by having a baby shower is one small thing that we can do, we're excited to be here today.
In Lexington, Alexa Minton, WKYT.
Officials also want to remind folks that even if they received aid during the pandemic, they need to check back in and redetermine their health care plan and information in order to continue receiving medical care and support.
We are tracking some mainly dry and cold weather across the mountains to kick off this work week. Here's a live look from UVA-wise. We are dry, also chilly. That temperature is above freezing at 46 degrees, but some of us are below freezing at this hour, down to 30 for Grundy, 27 for Clintwood, up to 33 in Manchester, also Middlesboro, and 42 over in Laurel County for London at this hour. Up on the radar for most of us, we are dry as those clouds continue to increase as that next weather system is not too far away. Maybe a few spotty sprinkles in Pulaski County, also into Wayne County, but again, for most of us, we are dry on your Monday morning commute, but some changes are on the way. As we zoom out, you can see that spin in the atmosphere over Oklahoma, also Kansas. That is our next rainmaker, and some beneficial widespread showers on the way as we go into tonight. Also on Tuesday, also tracking some gusty winds, a wind advisory in place for those higher elevations, and then trending drier, also cooler for Thanksgiving, also for Black Friday. All those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Thank you, Cameron, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, yesterday, the United States lost one of its most famous first ladies, the steel magnolia.